This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, and welcome you all to this weekly rambling of mine. Well, they're weekly mainly when I have something to say. Normally I try and do them on a Friday. However, this week we have been streaming, people, and we'll talk about that in a little second. But the biggest reason for this vlog is to say thank you to everybody who's been subbing up over the last week. We have got to 900 subs, people. I mean, I say it again, redonkulous. 900 subs, I mean, what? I mean, we're sitting on 954 at this present time. And I can't believe it. I mean, we actually gained about 100 subs in the space of the week that I have been doing the live streams this week. And I'm honoured and I'm humbled, and I couldn't feel better about it, to be honest. I mean, I just feel totally happy and excited, and I just can't thank everybody enough who's stuck with me, who's subbed throughout the time that I've been doing the channel, and for all those people last week that suddenly came across the channel. I lucked out a little bit, I think, because I did decide to do a stream on New Year's Day. I actually had quite a quiet New Year's with my dad, watching Jules Holland and visiting the neighbours, that sort of stuff. But I didn't drink, so I drove home that... I mean, I got up maybe about 11 o'clock, so I still didn't get to bed till about 3. But so that day was kind of free for me to twiddle about, do what I wanted to do. And I did the first YouTube stream on New Year's Day. In this country, it was about 6:45 at night, which... I'm not sure how that relates, but I think it was morning. Depends where you are in America. It can be 8 hours, it can be 5 hours behind, 8 hours behind. So it was obviously morning or lunchtime there. And I just lucked out that was one of the times of the year where everybody's off. And, you know, normally I try and do my streams sort of since then at 8 at night. That's about as late as I can start one because I have work the next day. You know, I have my day job and all this sort of stuff. So I need to be, but I want to try and because a massive amount of people that watch my channel are from our finest friends from the US of A. So, you know, I want them included as much as I can. So I put the stream on at 8 o'clock. So hopefully between 8 o'clock and 10:30, 11 on a school night, people, that I can, you know, hopefully a few of them can join in. But any later than that during the week is just crazy. I can't do it. Anyway, so New Year's Day, I lucked out that people were seeing my channel who maybe hadn't stumbled across it before because I hadn't been streaming, and these are people that obviously watch streaming. And I was playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls as well over the New Year's Day and the day after. So I think you know, it was a magic combination of people seeing that I'm playing the sort of games they want to watch, and obviously liked what I was doing, chatting away while we were doing it, which I'm just honoured about. So I just wanted to, anyway, it's a massive thank you. I can't believe it. Like, I mean, we are getting so close. I mean, I actually honestly now believe that I will see 1,000 subs on the channel, and it's like, it's mental to me. You know, like when I started the channel, I didn't think I'd get, you know, 100, never mind 1,000, you know. So I'm really, really, really beyond chuffed, people. I really am. I mean, if I never got another sub from now, I'd be completely, you know, blown away. But it's fine. So it's really nice though when you put your heart and soul into something. And I do apologise. I say this every time I do one of these landmark videos, but I apologise if I'm repeating myself. But it is really nice to get the sort of, you know, if somebody subs your channel, it means that they're obviously enjoying you as a person, enjoying the game that you're playing, and a whole combination of things. So you know, and me personally, I don't know what other people do with their YouTube channels, but I put a lot of work into my YouTube channel. You know, it takes up a lot of my spare time, but I only do it because I love sharing my gaming with other people. Like I never, and I said this a million times, I never did this for money. I did it because I loved gaming and I wanted to share my love of that with other people and my opinions and these vlogs and you know, I just wanted to meet other people that were like me. and maybe bring people a smile or two and just share my experiences in gaming. That was it, and anyone starting a YouTube channel that's starting it for money is on, well, outside of the odd lucky one or someone that's investing a whole pile of cash, is on a losing streak, because you should only ever do it because you want to do something you love. Because if you only end up with 20 people watching your channel, that's absolutely fantastic. But they're people that want to communicate with you and chat and blah, So to have this many people, like 900 and odd people, is just, it's incredible. Like 950 odd people. It boggles my mind, I'm not, it's not like I'm a young, good-looking, sort of upcoming YouTube streamer like PewDiePie or someone like that who can just instantly get these sort of subs. So I have to do something, I have to be me and hope that people like watching me, and joining in with me and watching my stream, because I'm not gonna get subs because I'm handsome, or because I'm only gonna get subs because I'm doing what you guys want me. I'm doing what you want to see. I'm playing the games you want me to play. I mean, I we know that my channel is an RPG channel, people. Every time I've tried to do anything else other than RPG, it's obvious by the views that the people that are following me are RPG players. So I know that, and my love and my heart is in RPG games, so that's what I do most of the time. Every now and then, I like to just interject a little bit of third-person sort of horror-y type stuff. I'm never going to be doing COD. I'm never going to be doing all that sort of stuff. But every now and then, and I might start doing it, maybe over a weekend or something. I did it with my mate Craigie Boy. We did Evil Within 2 for a stream together one night, and I loved it. It was really fun. We didn't get the sort of audience figures that we would have liked for the night, but we got enough to make it worthwhile, and we had a great time doing it. And I think it was the first time trying out two mics in the same room as well, so we need to try it out again at some point. But I'd love to do Evil Within 1, for example, as a playthrough, maybe make it a weekend thing, just for a slight change of pace from RPG. So I'd love to just interject that somewhere. Evil Within 1, Evil Within 2. But I never finished Evil Within 1. I got near the end and then never completed it. So I'd love to finish that game before I thought about 2. As a full playthrough, anyway. So, anyway, all that aside, thank you so much to everyone. I'm honestly, I'm so humbled by the fact that I've got this many people who want to see what I'm doing, and it brings me a lot of happiness to know that. And I had a tweet today. In fact, while I'm on with tweets, and I'll get back to that little bit of story. I love the communication I'm getting from you guys. Like, all the comments you're leaving in YouTube, absolutely brilliant. Don't stop that. Keep them coming. I love it. If you want to communicate with me outside of if you don't want to stick a comment on a particular video just because you want to say something to me, then don't use YouTube. Just follow me on Twitter and I'll follow you back. Just tell me who you are from the followers on YouTube, and I'll follow you back. Because the username, your username on YouTube might not be the same as it is on Twitter, for example. So if you've got Twitter, just I'll try and put the link somewhere on this video. It's at Steve Gillespie's. No, it's not. It's at Steve Gillespie. Forget about the S. At Steve Gillespie, and that's it. And you follow me, and if you tell me that you're a follower on it, I mean, to be fair, if it says in anywhere in your bio that you're a gamer, I'll follow you back anyway, because I follow all gamer type folk back on YouTube, on Twitter. So yeah, so if you want to communicate me with it in a slightly easier manner than having to throw a comment up on a video that, because I'm seeing quite a few comments coming through that aren't actually necessarily about that video. They're just somebody wanting to speak to me, and that's fine. But it might be easier if you've got Twitter. Just fire it to me on Twitter. So at Steve Gillespie on Twitter, and I'll chat to you there. You can't miss me. I've got the same logo up and everything, so you'll see that it's me, and it's fairly obvious, people. So I would recommend to anybody of my 954 people that if you want to communicate to me about games in general, just for chit chat and comments and little things, then get on your Twitter accounts and follow me on there, and I'll follow you back. I'm not doing a follow train here. This is a two-way street. If you follow me and tell me who you are on YouTube, I'll follow you back straight away. It's just an easier way of communicating, really, is what I'm saying. So yeah, find your way on there. Some of you have done it already, and the reason that popped into my head was because I got a great message from a fine gentleman today. And I could have given him a shout out, but I won't embarrass him. But he sent me a message today on Twitter, just saying, he just was thanking me for the live streams I've been doing, over the Christmas period last week, and the fact that they'd helped him through a time when he was sick and he just needed something to take his mind off it and enjoy. And he'd just been watching them and had obviously had a good time. Well, it obviously took his mind off and just give him some joy in an otherwise crap situation. And I've had a few people, over the time telling me that my videos and my streams have given them comfort, just to feel like you've got... I mean, it's a little bit like radio, I guess, like if you watch streams and stuff and you're watching someone that you connect with, then you feel like you've got their company for the evening. And I have had like a number of messages from you guys saying that you really enjoy just chilling out in the evening, listening to me ramble on and play me games and watching what I'm doing. And it really and I use the word humble, I don't use it lightly, and I have used it a few times already in this video, but I am really humbled by that. And I actually take... it kind of fills me with a lot of happiness to know that I can bring a company to somebody, because I know what it's like to be lonely. I'm a single guy. I live on my own. I do all of this kind of stuff. I mean, I go to work and all this, but I know what it's like to feel lonely and to want some company, So it's nice to know that I'm bringing that to somebody else if that's what they need at that particular moment in time. So I'm always really humbled by those sorts of tweets, So anyway, you guys are amazing, absolutely amazing. I can just say that the amount of last night's stream on Bloodborne, this is Saturday what are we on? Saturday the 6th of January we're on at the minute. So last night, Friday the 5th, stream was about 4 hours long. We just hit the 4 hour mark when we finished off a boss. And the amount of communication I was getting and the amount of chat that was going on, it was awesome. It was just I was swearing and cursing and blaming the whole world that it was the game's fault and not mine. But that's besides the point, people. It's all part of the fun with Bloodborne. But amazing game that is. We'll get to that. But the amount of communication and chat and stuff that was going on was absolutely outstanding. It was brilliant. I had a cracking time last night. I've had a cracking time all week, but it was just last night was just the pinnacle of a great week. And that was only, and last night it wasn't like it was on New Year's Day where there was, 60 odd subs in the space of 2 hours. I mean, it was only a few subs last night. There were brilliant subs to get. And, so it wasn't like I wasn't being filled up with happiness because I was getting loads of subs, that night. It's all about you guys interacting with me and making this a two-way happy street, people, in the gaming world. And that's what it's always been about. So, I was just made up last night. I mean, I ended up bringing oh God, I've forgotten the name. Sorry, and I apologise. I've just forgotten. I'm having a mind blank while I'm recording. But I brought a chap into my playthrough to join in and do the boss fight with me at the end. And because I'd started the game offline mode and all that, it was there was this sort of 5 to 10 minute pause where we were trying to sort it out. But it was fantastic, and I loved that sense of interaction. There was another gent, or I think it was a gent, had asked me to join into my game earlier on, and I said not at that point. I said no. So whoever you were, absolutely up for that for another another boss fight or whatever. I'm not keen on I'm not keen on having somebody there all the time. But at key moments, absolutely, I have no problem with it. And it's not because I don't want people there. It's just because I want to feel like I've kind of pushed my way through this playthrough myself. Because they're those sorts of games where you want to feel that sense of achievement. So it's not that I don't want people in there. It's just that I want to feel like I've achieved most of it myself. But the boss fight was awesome with the other chap. Nagonte, was it? Nagonte? Something like that. But yeah, and thank you to everyone who was joining in last night and through the week. It's made my decision to stream absolutely the right one. I know that there's people on my channel who may have unsubbed me because it's not what they thought I was doing. And I do as a kind of I have an inner artist in me that kind of, I don't draw and stuff, but like when I do something, it has to be sort of precise and clean, and you'll tell that from my tabs in YouTube and all this sort of stuff. Like I don't like messy shit, you know. I don't want to put my face in it with barbed wire and shit on it, you know. I want a proper tab, telling people what it is, you know. Everything's sort of uniformed, that sort of thing, you know. And when I do the videos, you know, I have the intro, I have the outro, and everything in between, and I try and keep it clean. It's a little bit scruffier with streaming. Obviously, I'm getting used to it properly on YouTube, but I think it's gone pretty well considering I spent quite a long time prepping it all up. There's a few little things that work sometimes and not others, but that's not really down to me. It's down to the services I'm using. So yeah, so I mean, all in all, I couldn't be more chuffed that I started streaming, and to explain why, because when this all started, you'll notice the first episodes of Bloodborne and so on were on Twitch, because I'd seen somebody else streaming on Twitch, a young game girl called Alice Rocha, I think her name is. She's got a great channel, really fun, just a young girl, you know, making her way with the YouTube channels and stuff. But she's really fun to watch. She's a nice kid. But I was watching her and I got loads of tips from what she was doing on the, you know, she had like the little pop-ins coming in when someone subscribed and all this, you know, little sort of widget things going on. So that's what sort of tempted me back to Switch. I thought, oh, that'd be really cool. So I figured out how all that works, you know, plugged it all in and blah, and it was all working fine. But I felt like, why am I on Twitch when I've got all of these awesome people that have already followed me on YouTube? And, you know Twitch is a place for gamers. And the other thing was, like, I mean, the time that I have to do this is actually quite generous because I live on my own. I don't, you know, it's not like I'm in a relationship where there's, you know, compromises to be made about time and, you know, all this sort of stuff. So, you know, but I'm still limited because I have a day job, so it has to be like, and to try and run a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel suddenly I was like, this isn't, I don't think this is going to work. And lots of little things in Twitch that were great ideas seemed to be, you know, like I would try and export my videos and it just wouldn't work over and over again, and then eventually it might work. In fact, I only got one video to ever export. I had to download them, which failed about 3/4 of the way through, and then you can restart it, that's fine, but everything just seemed to be clumsy. It was like, we've put this feature in, and it's like, well, that's awesome. But it's not, because it doesn't quite do what you want it to do. So there was all this going on as well in the background, and they don't keep your videos for more than, I think as a standard user, for more than like 60 days or something. And then the videos are gone and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, well, why why bother? Because the only reason for me to there's going to be no history of what I did there. It's all just going to vanish, you know, like. So the more I thought about it, the only reason to be on Twitch was because it is obviously just a gaming community. You know, Twitch is just for gaming, really. So with YouTube, you've got everything else. But to be fair to YouTube, they've invested a lot of stuff around gaming. There's an app specifically just for watching gaming stuff, you know. So the services on YouTube far outweigh the services on Twitch. And all of that combined with the fact that 950, well, at that point, 850 odd people, or 40 odd people, 840 odd people were subbing me on YouTube. So why was I trying to drag them across to Twitch? It made no sense. So it kind of was, it was like a, you know, I just sort of thought, wake up and smell the roses, Steve, and get back to where people love you, you know, it's like, but, you know, maybe in the future, maybe if this ever becomes a full-time thing for me, which I don't anticipate it will, but, you know, if I had more time to spend, then maybe I would do stuff on both channels. But at the moment, YouTube's far better. The only thing that hasn't worked quite as smoothly as it did on Twitch was the little plugins, and it's not because of the plugin company, which is a different company, because they're doing everything right. It's because there seems to be something like if you hide or private your channel and you sub, you can't pop in as a there's a little thing that pops in when you sub while I'm streaming that says, "Way, so and so subscribed." If you're private in your channel, you won't pop up. It's just the way YouTube works. But Twitch doesn't have any of that by the sounds of it. So everybody was popping in. So it's little stuff like that, but you guys probably don't care. You're probably just interested in the stream. So, the little count goes up. It's still, the sub count still goes up in the corner. But the last sub and the little pop-in won't happen because it's not allowed to show it because it's private. YouTube won't show it. So it's just that's a tiny, tiny thing. And in fact, that company, which is it's called Streamlabs, and the company I used for Twitch was called Stream Pro, which was really good, actually. Streamlabs are just as good. And they've just released a beta version of a new product which you can basically stream through and connect OBS to the back of it. So through a couple of service calls I made with them asking them questions, they said that was available to me. So I'm going to have a little play with that over the weekend and see what it's like. So I've really enjoyed, so I mean the streaming's been awesome. So that's basically why I moved from Twitch back to YouTube for the streaming. And we're going to forget about Twitch for a while. So I do apologise to anyone who followed me who is just a Twitch watcher. But for me right now, it's got to be YouTube. Far better services, far better. Well, for me, my love and community are there. So I'm going to be there for you guys streaming there, not somewhere else. I did notice on a few of the videos I put up saying live on Twitch, boo, come over. I was getting thumbs downs on them as well, which would suggest to me that, people are like, why the F are you on Twitch when we're all over here? And it's fair enough, absolutely right. So I'm delighted that I've made that choice really quickly after doing one video of each of those games and just moved straight over. So there you are. We have. I've been loving Bloodborne. Dark Souls. I've been loving, but my God, that game is so frustrating. There's things that Bloodborne doesn't tell you, but it's more fun. Bloodborne, it's difficult and it's bloody hard, but it is just more fun. Dark Souls, I'm still liking it, but I just feel like that game. It did things deliberately to just wind you up rather than make the game difficult. I just the whole thing just telling you nothing and giving you nothing, and it's like wandering aimlessly through. People will argue with me that's what makes it difficult, but there's difficult and there's just fucking annoying people. You know what I mean? I don't mind difficult. I don't mind difficult fights. I don't mind being poisoned and cursed and all this sort of stuff. If the game's explaining to me what it is that I need to do to combat that. If I was playing this game on my own, I'd have to be Googling the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Or going through all of these shops' inventories, finding what it is that takes it off. And it's just not sodding fun. It's like... Even difficult games should be fun. And I understand why people say that Dark Souls 1 is the most difficult. But it's the most difficult for a lot of really annoying reasons, and not reasons that make it a top game, in my opinion. But it is terrific. It's absolutely great. And there's so much joy I'm getting. I have got a lot of joy out of it, much as though I moan. And I am going to do more of it, because I just feel this inner, I have to, But if I had to pick between the two right now, it would be Bloodborne every time. It is for me. It's just as difficult in places, but it is just more enjoyable. You don't have all the bollocks coming with it that you've got with Dark Souls. But Dark Souls is a dated game now anyway. And it is clumsy. It's clumsy in comparison. Anyone who sits there and tells me that that's the perfect mechanic for fighting you're not being honest with yourself, because that is a slow, clumsy mechanic. If you compare it now to Dark Souls, I haven't played 2, but 3 even. 3's got far smoother mechanics than 1, and Bloodborne is honestly, Bloodborne is becoming possibly my favourite game ever. It is that good. And the only thing that is ever going to top any game is on the Last of Us. But that's just, not because of its mechanics, just because of its the all-round love I have for that game. So, So yeah, so we're going to continue with those, and I'll get as far through. I'm really hoping to finish Bloodborne. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Dark Souls. We'll see as we go. You guys have given me so much help with these games, that especially Dark Souls, because it's your guys' help that's going to make me carry on with that game. Because if I reach points that I'm just like, you know, every time I felt like just throwing the towel in, you guys have come in with advice and things to do. I know that getting the Dragon Tail... Now, I might put up, well, somewhere behind what I've just been saying, I might put up a little corner screen, or I might make me small and put the... I recorded me getting the Drake Sword from the dragon in Dark Souls. And you basically just go to a certain place on the bridge, and you just shoot the tail of the dragon about 12 to 15 times. Depends how strong you are, of course. And you'll end up with this Drake Sword, which has got like 200 damage on it and stuff. It's like it's overly powered. And I ended up doing that because I was getting... Everyone was moaning at me that I was using this sword. And I was like, yeah, well, that's fine. But the game's not giving me anything better. You know, like I've picked up about 100 broken swords, 100 short swords, 100 long swords, and the only thing I had that was better was the gargoyle axe, which was slow as feck, which I got from a boss fight. I think I had a mace and a spear, and they were only tiny bit stronger than the sword that I was using. The game had given me nothing. If I wanted anything, I'd have to have like built up some souls and found someone selling something, because the game has given me nothing. At least with Bloodborne, I've been leveling up my weapons, like with the blood shards and the twin blood shards, and it's getting really cool now. So, you know, I get like why people are frustrated I'm using a weapon, but the fucking game doesn't give you anything. It's like, I don't want to run around with a slow ass weapon. So the game has to, like, the loot in that game is diabolical. Like, there should be why you would want to pick up like 300 broken swords and 300 long swords and 300 short swords. I mean, what on earth? It doesn't even let you sell them for about 3 weeks. It's completely pointless. Like, it's like, can't be asked with a loot system. If you're not going to bother with a loot system, at least give you some way of upgrading your weapon properly. Anyway, don't get me started, people. Anyway, so it is a great game. I'm just moaning at the little things that are bugging me, and they're little things that they're just annoying. They're not. It's not that they're making the game difficult. It's just making it annoying. Like, not allowing me to jump between campfires is just annoying. Like, I don't want to run the same fucking thing umpteen times. And I know that you keep telling me that, oh, you can eventually. I don't want it eventually, because this is why a lot of people didn't finish the damn thing and probably didn't buy the second one. You know what I mean? I know the sales were good, but if you want people coming back, you know, you've got to give a little. Like, you know, jumping between campfires, I don't think it's a big ask, you know. Anyway, I'm still getting joy out of both of these games, so they will be continuing. We have, as it happens, we've got... God, I've rambled on for half an hour already. We've still got Dark Souls 2 to come after all of this. We've still got Dark Souls 3 to come after this. Now, I have played a large chunk of this with my son, but, you know, I think we're still scratching the surface, really. But we did a fair bit when he was here for the 3-4 days in the Christmas period. So, yeah, I mean, I was having a lot more joy with that. Just fun with it. I mean, it was still hard, but, you know, I was having a lot more fun with it than I am with Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 1's become a bloody mission rather than a game now. And we've also got people... I was out very early this morning. I went out 9:30 to get to the post office to pick up a package that I wasn't here to collect when it arrived. And, oh God, I went from there. I went to a shopping place, then went to Tesco, then went for a run, which must have... Well, it was 10k effectively in the end. But, it was the same as the 3 times around the park, same as the... Christmas vlog and my New Year Eve run, and then came back and did a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, the reason I got up so early and went to the post office was because Neo had arrived, and I really lucked out because I kept looking and looking and looking and looking for a decent price on Neo, because I didn't want to pay 40 quid for it, for a game that had been out for that long. But it's holding its value so well, it's ridiculous. But it was on PSN for £16 odds. It might still be. But I wanted a physical copy. I didn't want to buy it online. And anyway, I found someone selling it for 20 quid on eBay, and it had only been used once because they got it as a gift and obviously didn't get into it. So I absolutely lucked out. Free delivery, 20 quid from eBay. Absolutely fantastic. It's in pristine condition. So, well chuffed with that. That will be coming. Those games will be coming along after we're done with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1. And what else we got to talk about? Oh, I had. Here we had only a couple of small things now. We had. The only thing that's been bugging me about the live streams is that everything's really crystal clear, lovely. Everything, images are great, apart from me, and it's not because I'm ugly. It's just because, well, I might be, but the camera, the webcam, is actually on the TV on the top of the telly because it's the only good place I had to put it, and then I had to zoom it in so that I'm closer. Otherwise, you get the whole room. And when you zoom in with the camera, every time you zoom, the picture kind of depreciates sort of in a fuzzy kind of way. So if you watch those videos, I'm not quite as clear as you might see in other people's sort of videos, you know. And it's not the camera; it's just because I'm zooming it in so far. So I needed this way of getting the camera closer to me. And I haven't tried recording anything with it yet, but I've got it in place. I'll try and put a little picture up in this. Actually, I've taken a picture of my setup. So I bought this random object because I had this sort of idea of having it just in front of me where the beanbag and stuff is, but I needed something to rise it up a little bit because I didn't want it below me. It's a weird angle to watch people at if the camera's coming up the way. So I wanted it either at level with me or, you know, a little bit down. So as you'll see from the little image I put up, this is what I came up with. It was a random £3.70 odd object that I just managed to balance on top of what I had in front of me already, and it looks fine. It's not obtrusive to the living room, and it's, you know, if you can't find the ideal thing, people, just think outside the box, and that's exactly what I did. I just wandered round. Where was it? It was Dunelm, I think it was, and I just found that it was sitting in a whole bunch of clearance stuff from before Christmas or something. And just lying there was two of them, and I nearly didn't get it, actually. And when I've now got it in place, I was like, that's so perfect, it's unbelievable. So the next time you see me, the picture will kind of be coming down at an angle like that rather than straight on. But, you know, other than that, it's perfect. It's probably better anyway, coming slightly down. I think most people do their webcams at a slight angle. So that's all set up for the next stream. I don't know what the schedule's going to be for the next stream yet. I mean, at this stage, I'm actually thinking about doing it every day again next week. So it would be, again, alternate Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I apologise to anyone on the channel who is hoping for something else, but, you know, time is what it is, and I can't keep going on without finishing games. I might interject with something else if I find myself getting a bit too depressed about these, you know, playing these sort of tough games. But at the moment, I'm just getting so much joy out of them and so much communication from you guys out of them. I love playing the games that make you guys talk to me. You know, I don't want to sit and play and walk around Skyrim for 20 hours with nobody saying anything because there's nothing to talk about. You know, it's a pretty thing to look at, but there's not a huge amount to talk about when you're watching someone play Skyrim, you know, or Fallout or stuff like that. So I'd rather be playing games where you guys can help me. So there you are. The last thing I got was a little. You'll see behind me for any of the astute of you. As I was picking that thing up for the camera, I just walking toward the till. There was a bunch of stuff that was obviously ex-Christmas stuff just sat there, and we got another object for the back of the room, and it's a little head of Darth, and it's a proper ceramic one as well. It's nice. Because I was worried when I picked it up, I thought, it was a plastic. And it's a little money bank. So you put your change in it and stuff. But obviously it's just an ornamental thing for me. So it fitted in perfectly with this little backlot here. Because we've already got the Stormtrooper head lit up at the back. I've got batteries for that as well. Because that would run flat. That's why the last few videos that's not been lit up. So yes, I was delighted with that. It's worked out a treat. And it was £4. £4, people. I don't know, eh? So there you are. That is my rambling for this week. I'm absolutely knackered after doing all that today. Having a little beer now. You were all asking me why I wasn't having a beer last night. Well, it's because I was saving it for the vlog tonight. Cheers, everybody. Well, we'll see how we go. I'll post up. You'll know what the schedule is because I'll put the events up in advance, and I'll probably make my decisions on that either tomorrow or, you know, Monday. But most likely tomorrow at some point. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm absolutely delighted. But thank you again to everybody. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you again in this vlog and all the streams I've done through the week and everything I do. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Bye.